Good afternoon, sir. Shall we start, sir? ಶುರು ಮಾಡೋಣ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ.
Start ಮಾಡಿ sir.
Yes. Before that, I would like to introduce the audience. Good afternoon, everybody. Sure, you would have had some PS lunch, homes. Post lunch session, we have two talks. One by Dr. N. Manjappa, Head Fisheries Research Information Center, Bangalore. Second talk will be on apiculture by Dr. Badri Prasad, Department of Agricultural Entomology, College of Culture, Ravati. Now, on behalf of all of you and on behalf of KSTA, I welcome Dr. N. Manjappa to deliver a talk on freshwater aquaculture. Before that, let me give a brief introduction on his academic and research accomplishments. Dr. N. Manjappa has done his master's in fisheries science. After that, pursued PhD in Department of Aquaculture. His area of specialization is fish genetics and breeding. He has handled 5 major projects as a principal investigator. One is on development of captive brood stock of sand whiting and pearl spoke. Second is development and adoption of best management practices of shrimp farming to maximize benefits to small stakeholders. Third one is on development of technology for fish culture in water harvesting structures in watershed, which was funded by Karnataka Watershed Development Department, Sujala project. Then he has also carried out project on intensive fish farming in recirculatory aquaculture system. Again, he has done a work on evaluation of growth and performance of shrimp fed on mineral mixture aqua incorporated feeds. Apart from that, he has also been a co-principal investigator for 3 major projects. He has been awarded with seed money for young scientists research by Vision Group of Science and Technology, which is a prestigious thing. Then he also has got a certificate of merit in recognition of research grant mobilization from NABARD, and the special assignments he introduced brackish water polyculture technology in Uttar Kannada district. He also has established a shrimp backyard hatchery at Fisheries Research and Information Center, Ankola. He has more than 20 research publications to his credit. He also has published 7 books. He is also a member of professional societies. With this little background, now I request Dr. Manipa to take over and deliver his talk on freshwater aquaculture. Over to you, Dr.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for introduced me. I'm special thanks to Karnataka Science and Technology Academy, Government of Karnataka, and I'm actually thanks to Manage Hyderabad. Then today I'm going to brief about freshwater aquaculture in India. I'm working as a associate professor in Karnataka Veterinary Animal Fisheries Sciences University, Fisheries Research Center located in Esarghatta. Then in my presentation, I'm going to cover the overall importance of the fisheries and fisheries resources in India. You know, what are the technologies for sustainable production, like whatever the technology, the practicing with farmer community and entrepreneur, the industry. I'm going to brief about these technologies. Among these technologies, the polyculture systems is one of the popular technology. Then integration with agriculture and livestock, that means integrated aquaculture the system. Then utilizations of alkaline soils for aquaculture. Alkaline and saline lands are accumulated in topography of in India. So that unutilized area, how they are exploring, I'm going to brief about in this chapter. Then I'm going to brief about the advanced technologies, recirculatory aquaculture system, bioflag culture system, and aquaponics. These things I'm going to briefing in my presentation. So the why you are going, we should go for the fish. What is the importance? What is the role of fish in our society? You know, the fish is one of the perishable product and rich in protein, nutritional value they had it. And its fish culture then globally that provides more than 15% of the animal protein requirement. The animal protein, the requirement of the countries, the Asia, Pacific, Africa, around these countries are all depend upon the animal protein. This fish is the balanced diet with the low cost, with the high quality protein. It's having the rich protein in content of the more essential, more than 10 essential amino acids, especially we call it as essential amino acids like methionine, glycine, lysine, isoleucine. These are the many essential amino acids that are found in the fish meat. Even though the fish meat, the content of rich vitamins like vitamin A and B and D, the minerals. Even though if you go to if you go to doctor, they will suggest to take the fish meat, because the fish meat they're having the omega-3 fatty acid and omega-6 fatty acids, unsaturated fatty acids. Doctor the suggest that instead of taking the red meat, that they suggest to take they're taking white meat. So fish is one of the low in a saturated fat, then which is having low calories. Even though even the childrens, the age-old people easily can digest the fish meat. Even though if regularly, if you eat regularly the fish meat, we can reduce the risk of the stroke and heart attack. Even though contribution for GDP from the fisheries in the foreign exchange or foreign exchange around annual export is around 700 crore. You are getting the GDP from our country. So aquaculture is developing at a rapid pace during the last few decades, because of, if you compare to any agriculture activities, aquaculture is one of the profitable activity. There a lot of the money in the fish culture, fish breeding, fish rearing, and fish seed production, value-added products. Uh, these are all the more revenue, getting the more revenue. Now become one of the fastest growing food production sector, because of its having export value. Then everybody accepting the fish meat, because of that reason is fastest growing the food production in this sector. The production from the aquaculture is largely outpacing the population growth, because of lot of resources are available in India, both marine water and both the inland water. Now world average per capita supply is increasing from 0.72 in the 1970 to 6.4 kg in 2022. Now the increase the per capita consumption are around 17 kg per annum. Now annual growth rate is around 9%. The areas for rural economy employment, to develop, to create the employment opportunity, to develop the economic status, our entrepreneur or farmers, they should engage with some fishery activities like fish seed production. Now the fish seed is very huge demand to stock in the natural water body, like check dams, nala bunds, in a natural tank also. The fish seed are rearing also one of the another employment activity. Then fish production, to grow the fish in a captive condition. Then aquarium fish, the rearing also one of the good demand in the throughout the country. Then post harvest technology and the fish marketing. Even though if you dress the fish, we can supply the market, they have huge demand. Then value added products. In addition of after dressing, you can go for value addition like masala, or you can make a fry. And if you want to make a ready to eat curry and all, they are all huge demand in the market. Now the fish activities they are practicing for fish for livelihood. Then improves the livelihood for rural, the poor people. Around 38 million the people depend globally, the dependent on the fish activities. Around 2.5 million the people depend on that in India, that depend on fishery activities. Fish is one of the aquatic animal. Fish is divided into two groups. One is the fin fishes and shellfishes. The fin fishes is aquatic animal, and it's breathing with using the gills and covered with the scales. It's moving with the help of the fins like pectoral fins and pelvic fins. The shellfish is respiratory with the gills. It's having locomotory organs to movement one place to another places. Then biodiversity, in the biodiversity in Western Ghat or in our river or in reservoir, you have various types of the fishes like minor carp, some featherback fishes also. We can observe in the nature. So according to database of the National Bureau of Fish Genetic Resources, Lucknow, they are documented around 2,799 the species, both the marine and brackish water and the freshwater. So in India, we have a lot of resources like rivers, canal, tanks, reservoir, floodplain area, and brackish water, saline and alkaline land, and cold water fishes, and rivers, natural lakes, and the reservoirs. We have around more than 1,95,210 kilometers rivers. That means we have huge water resource for the fishery activities. Then how to increase the fish production? Uh, when you are practicing, when you are getting the information, the culture of the fish with a scientific manner, by scientifically preparing the water body. In the water body, before culture, you have so many the standard protocols. You have to follow the scientific design. The protocol should be maintained by stocking the quality of the fish seeds. The stocking is healthy and sustainable size of the fish we need to stock. Uh, to supplement of the feed, there are two types of the feed they are going to consume, like natural feed and artificial feed. Naturally, the growing phytoplankton, zooplankton in the water. In artificial feed, we can supplement the feed in the form of pellet feed or floating feed. Even though then after the stocking fish, we can go for monitoring the health status of the fish. Once in a while, we need to check the length and weight of the fish, and we need to check the any diseases in the body. These things should be monitored in the culture system. And then even though we can avoid by avoiding the spoilage after harvest. After harvesting the fish, we immediately we can go for storage in the ice or in a less temperature in cold storage area. We need to stock the fish. Right? Still, constraints for fisheries development in India, the insufficient of the seed is production is one of the reason. Second, because of nobody, I mean, only few people they actively doing in fish breeding and training. Underutilization of the natural resources. Even though rain-fed area, rain harvested water bodies, whatever natural tanks, you are not using properly. These are all one of the reason the decreasing the fish production. The lack of entrepreneurship among the people. The people are they afraid to the invest in fishes because fish growing and fish activities is under the water. We can't see the fish growth and all. This is one of the reason. Then failure to transfer the technology properly. Majorly, Krishi Vigyan Kendras they are taking major role in the transfer of technology lab to land. Because of lacking of recruitment, lacking of availability, the technician, one of the failure to the transfer the technology. Then very poor the extension activity. No proper follow-up. Once they fish stock, never we go back to the farmer field. You never see the what is the status of water health status of the water, health status of the fish, they are feeding or not, what is the growth rate. You are not going to follow up. This is one of the reasons. So to get the more revenue and more yield, this more production, we need to go for culture of the variety of the fishes. Among the fishes, among the various types of the fishes and the carps. Carps is the Indian major carp and exotic carp. Catfishes, so many the catfishes are available like morel, channas, claris petricus, singe. Like these, the catfishes are also the farmers are practicing in the field. Then featherbacks, these are air-breathing fishes. Then small indigenous fishes also practicing in some Western Ghat area. Species suitable for culture. These are Katla, Rohu, and Mrigal. These are our Indian major carp. Katla is a surface feeder, is feed on the zooplankton. Whatever you are supplementing the manure to the water body, the growing phytoplankton, zooplanktons. That's phytoplankton, zooplankton eaten by the Katla and roe. Then common carp and grass carp and silver carp. This is introduced by the Chinese. These are the Chinese carp. Even though Katla and silver carp, they compatibly live in the water body, and rohu grass carp also they is living in the middle water. It's feed on the terminal feeder. The mrigal and common carp is the bottom feeder. This is the figure. This is a cutla. There is in among the Indian major carp, this is one of the fastest growing fish. This characters is a big head, large upper column, silver black coloration, large upturned mouth. To the upturned mouth is helps to heat the phytoplankton. It grows around 1 to 1.5 kg per year. It's feed on mainly the zooplanktons. Seasonal spawner. It may spawns during June to July, the month. It can be breed under the control condition. With by help of the stimulating agent, you can go for breeding in captive condition. Its fecundity and number of the eggs, we can get it around 1 lakh to 1.5 lakh per kg. Is a columnar feeder. Is a rohu. Is a midwater feeder. A small head and terminal mouth. It's greenish in color, gold coloration. There's a fringed lip mouth. The opening towards the downside. Because of this, because of fringed mouth structure, it is able to eat the periphytons. Whatever the phyton grow on the substrates is easily eating the periphyton phytoplankton because fringed lip. Seasonal breeders, and it can be induced breed also. The fecundity around 1 lakh per kg per body weight. Mirigal, it's a bottom feeder, is the slowest among the Indian major carps. There's a terminal mouth, silvery black coloration, cylindrical body, feeds on dead and decay matter at the bottom. It can be bred in the captive condition using a inducing agent. Fecundity around 1 lakh per kg body weight. This is a silver carp. This is also the fast growing fishes along with cutla. It fecundity around 1 lakh to 1.5 lakh per kg the body weight. Silver carp sometimes it won't breed. That's the reason we are going for the stripping method, the breeding. Grass carp, it's exotic carps. It is a smaller head, large upper column cover entire the head, greenish gold coloration, cylindrical body. The seasonal the breeder can with the help of the stimulant you can breed it. Fecundity around 1 lakh to 1.5 lakh per kg. Common carp is commonly called as a gauri fish. In the Karnataka, the most of all farmers they culture in the natural tank is the common carp. It is easily the breed throughout the year. Almost 2 to 3 times you can breed in the throughout the year. The fecundity is around 0.5 to 1 lakh kg per the body weight. This columnar feeder, the labiophimbrates, they are minor carps. This minor carp also the culture in the Western Ghat area. This fecundity around 0.5 to 1 lakh kg per body weight. Other potential the species, most of all farmers are practicing culture of the carps. Then if you culture the carps, they will get around 100 rupees or 110 rupees per kg. If you go for these fishes like featherbacks, fishes like mogor and singe and giant river fishes, even though vallagotto, these are high value fishes. Even in the market around 600 to 700 rupees per kg. The suchi is one of the fastest growing fishes. Along with these fishes, the farmers the culture Nile tilapia, red tilapia, murals, other Karnataka state fish, Karnataka also. The composite fish culture. Composite fish culture, we culture the more than one variety fishes. The Indian major carps and exotic carps also the culture. In intensive culture, around they will get around 10 to 15 tons per hectare. Here you can go for the high stock intensity, supplementary feed, and regular water exchange. They can be they're doing in the intensive culture. In a semi-intensive, the stocking the fish and only supplementary the best culture. In extensive culture, only stock the fish and harvesting the fish. There is no any give. They won't give any feed. So that's a production around 1 to 2 ton. In intensive culture, around 10 to 15 ton per hectare. Before stocking the fish, we will go for pre-stocking method and post-stocking method. In the first pre-stocking method, you can go for the removal of the weeds, aquatic weeds. You can eradicate the predatory fishes. Eradications of the predatory fishes by using the screens and by using the net, we can remove the predatory fishes. You can go for eco-friendly some cakes, more oil cake, around 200 to 250 people, we can dump it to the pond. We can kill all the predatory fishes. Recommendation of liming recommendation is around 200 to 250 kg per hectare. Manuring is around 10 ton to 15 ton per hectare per annum. You can go. You have to give for in split dose. This is the method of eradication of the weeds and eradications of the predatory the fishes. The removal of the predatory fish by using the small mesh net. The management of the predator. The predator is one of the threat to the fish culture. We can easily can control the predators by using the net, bird net. If you want to control the snake and frogs, we need to fix the green net at the edge of the pond around 1 to 1.5 feet. This pond, if it is a big pond, to supplement of the fish, supplement of the feed, we need to use like the canoes to supplement the feed. If you're taking the outside the water, we need to filter the water. Otherwise, the predatory fishes, predatory eggs will be entered into the culture pond. To avoid the entry of the eggs and predatory fishes, we need to tie up the small mesh net. These are the birds carrying the threads we need to tie up on the surface of the pond. So stocking density around Katla, Rohu common around 30%, 40% and 30%. In a intensive culture around they can harvest around 10 ton to 15 tons, semi-intensive around 4 to 6 tons. In extensive method around 2 to 3 tons we can harvest it. To enhance the growth, we need to supplement rice bran and grow oil cake. 1:1 in the ratio, we need to supplement to the fish. Around 5% of the body weight, we supplement the supplementary feed. In Andhra Pradesh, some farmers they are practicing the bag feeding method. Whatever the rice bran and grow oil cake, will fill into the bag and make a hole and tie into the poles. In each one pole to another pole, our distance is around 10 feet. Whatever the just you can see in the picture, just one pole to another pole around 10 feet. They are around 3 bags. They are tied into the poles. After harvesting, they grading the fish. More than 1 kg fish they harvest and they go for they can go for reduce the risk of the spoilage. One row of the fish and one row of the ice can pack in the crate. We can make it the transportation. If you going culture 1 hectare of the pond, these are all the average economics of the fish culture 1 hectare pond. With the site clearance, pond construction, diesel pump, and other miscellaneous charges and all the compulsory are required. These are all permanent structure. Then operational cost are for drying, silting, lime, superphosphate, urea, cow dung, fish seed, fish feed, and harvesting charge miscellaneous around for 1 hectare, around 4.5 lakhs. If you stock around 10,000 fishes in 1 hectare, around survival around 90%, average weight of 1 kg, total production around 8,100 kg. If present price is 120 and 130, if you get that 110 also, will you get around 8 lakh 91,000. Net profit around 44 lakh 1,000 will get it. If you are breeding the fish, before the breeding, you are maintaining the brooders, male and females separate. We'll give the special feed to the brooder fish. With the help of the stimulating agent, we are going the breeding the fish. The different types of the stimulant are available in the market, like Overtide, Ovoprim, OFH. We'll select the male and female and will inject according to the recommended dosage. If sometimes some fishes they won't respond to breed, in that condition we'll go for artificial stripping method. We'll collect the eggs from the female, collect the milk from the male, and we'll mix with by using the feather. After fertilization, we'll go for incubating in the glass jar hatchery. This glass jar hatchery is a small scale production hatchery. These are the eggs, the fertilized eggs. After 38 hours in incubation, we'll get it the healthy spawn. You will get it. This is also one of the breeding method. So in some seed production center, they will inject the both male and female and holding in the sapas. After 18 hours, they will get the eggs. Whatever eggs available, the keeping in the Chinese hatchery, glass hatchery. These are the other methods for getting the spawns. These are the Chinese hatchery. Whatever the eggs the collecting eggs, they will incubate in this tank. After 38 hours, they will get the all spawns. They will get it. They will get it. These are the hatchlings. This is another method with the breeding of common carp. Select male and female. They will they supplement the aquatic plants. The aquatic plants they helps to addressing the eggs. After the eggs hatch out, they will stock into the nursery the rearing tank. In a shorter pond, before stocking in the culture pond, they will rear around 30 days in the hoppas. These are the advanced fingerlings. The advanced fingerling is suitable for the stocking in the natural tank or culture pond tank. Around 40 mm to 60 mm, we called as advanced fingerlings. There's advanced fingerlings. Even though more than 10 centimeter fingerlings is stocking is ideal. The stunted fingerlings, where the 6 to 7 months water retainable ponds, we need to stock the stunted fish. If we stock the stunted fish, we will get the revenue, we will get the more production within the 6 to 7 months. This is the method of fish with the packing and the transportation. In some areas, we can't dig out the pond, we can't construct the pond. In that condition, we can go for construct the pond with by using the metal sheet and iron rods, iron structured pond we can construct. This is the method to culture pond. In cage culture also, they are practicing extensive method and semi-intensive method and intensive method. Material for fabrication depend upon the species, the environmental condition, size of the number of the size of the production. Material should be the strong, light in weight and durable, congenial to the fish, cost effective and resistant to the implement the weather. Traditionally, the practicing establishment of the cages by using the bamboo and wood. Now the modern cages they are using HDP, nylon and metal meshes. Rectangular shape, preferably rectangular shape cages, they are more popular. The size of the cage is around 1 meter to around 20,000 meter size. Minimum smaller units is 1 to 40 meter. Depth should be 1 to 3 meter should be ideal. The mesh size depend upon the size of the fish to be reared. The structure of the cages are the fixed with the wooden bamboo poles allowed to the float, because if you float the cage, we can supplement the feed. Better to provide the catwalk by taking the 3 to 4 bamboos of the 8 to 10 centimeter diameter and would serve as a cage frame. To float the cages using around 200 liter galvanized iron or HDPE barrels can also you can use. Provide sinkers to the bottom of the corner of the cages to distribute the uniformly bottom of the cages. This is one of the ideal BAM made cages. The selection of suitable the site, the sunny and wind sheltered place like a bay, easily whatever the wind should not affect and easily accessible. Sufficient depth should be there. Pollution free area should be select. Then points to be considered for selecting the fish species for cage culture should be able to grow fast within in a short duration. With the fishes able to withstand in the crowding. If you stock more than recommended density, should be able to withstand. Then accept the supplementary feed. What we recommend, whatever protein feed or whatever rice bran oil cake, they should be able to accept. High feed conversion ability. If you less feed, fishes should be eat less feed, you should be grow more fast. The capacity of the food conversion rate should be more. Then for good consumer should be consumer acceptance. Whatever you grown the fish, there should be market value should be there. Other than there is no meaning in the selecting the species. Disease resistance species should be the stock. And in in river and some reservoir, practicing carps, catfishes, tilapia, mullets, prawns, naked. In some cold, cold temperate area, the growing the trout and salmons. The feeding of fish for mixture of the rice bran, royal cake, the soya flour, fish meal, vitamins, minerals, and binded material protein level should be more than 32% of the protein should be supplement. Feed may be given in form of the pellet form or floating form because of to avoid the wastage of the feed. Feeding if we growing fish in the cage around 2 to 3 times per day is ideal. Every once in a fortnight, once in a 15 days, we need to check up the growth of the fish. In integrated fish farming, here recycling of farm waste for food production, efficient use of the water resources, space also the using for the production. Organic waste to the around 40 to 50 kg are converted into the kilogram of the fish. Pond silt can be also utilized for source of the fertilizer. Even though fish grow, whatever the growth of fish pond soil, we can the same soil we can use for other horticulture crops or agriculture crop. Even though say fish comes sericulture the pupae also the rich protein is the using as a fish feed, while worm fecus also and wastewater also used for pond fertilizer. Even though ducks also, duck and fish culture also the practicing in West Bengal. Then pond eggs can be used for the horticulture purpose. Like we can grow the papaya, banana, and drumstick, and other crop also we can grow on the edge of the pond. The system the help for augmenting production and improving the socio-economic status of the farming community. If we more than one crop, it is a benefit to the farmers. This is one of the model pond. Here they growing the fish at the edge corner. They growing the banana. See here the growing bitter gourd at the edge of the pond. Here the growing sugarcane and banana. This is also sugarcane and banana. They are going. This is this is a bag feeding method. To construction of the pond, then in between each pond, the space should be required to transportations of the manure, transportations of the feed. Poultry cum fish culture also the practicing in the fishery activities around 600 number birds they are recommended for 1 hectare pond. For fish, they no need required to give the supplementary feed. Without feed, we can get the revenue around 4 to 4.5 tons. They can harvest the fish. This is the one of the model unit for poultry cum fish culture. This is a paddy cum fish culture. What the surrounding area can make a uh, pond and they can grow the fish. In between the rows also, they can stock the fish. They can go for rearing of the fish, culture of the fish. This is also poultry cum fish culture pond. The advantage of the rice fish farming, the fish feeding on the floating sclerotia, case worm larvae, and snail larvae, the hoppers and all, the feed by the fish, this acts as a food. These are also rich protein. The weeds are controlled by the direct feeding, the increased water turbidity, and constant flooding. Then disturbed moths fly up and are preyed upon the birds or other predators we can control. So this is one of the integrated farming. The farmer they're growing pomegranate also. The farmer they're growing pumpkins and papaya and coconut. Even though the piggery cum fish culture also the practicing in Karnataka. The edge of the pond they constructed piggery in a piggery hut. In the edge of the pond they growing some vegetables, fruits. Even though sheep and goat farming do not have any direct symbiotic relation, farmers can have a few sheep goats in an integrated farming. Even some farmers, the whatever the organic manure using for fish culture. Aquaculture for reclamation of alkaline and saline soils. Utilize the soils not suitable for agriculture. Wherever available the alkaline saline land, they're not cultivate any agriculture crops. That area we can go for the fish culture or fish rearing. Even though that's manures, excess feed increases the organic load and reduce the pH and alters the soil and water quality. You can go for conservation of the soil. This is also better resource for efficiency of the land. Can increase the productions in each unit area. Another advanced technology since 10 years, since last decades, they're practicing recirculatory aquaculture system. This technology where the water is recycled and reused after the mechanical and biological filtration and removal of suspended matter and metabolites. This method is used for high density culture of various species fish, utilizing the minimum land area and water. Wherever the land scarcity and scarcity of the water, they can go for establishment of recirculatory system. In a limited area, they can go for high stocking density. Example, if we establish the circular tank, we can go for high stocking density. Whatever the fecal matter available, we can drain out into mechanical filter. Whatever fecal matter that we can use for as a fertilizer, and the remaining water can go for biofiltration. After biofiltration, we can store in some tank, and the same water we can recycle and use for the fish culture. This is one of the best method the practicing in throughout the country. It is an intensive approach, the higher density and more rigorous management. Then even though if we controlled whatever the water parameter also we can control it by using the software. In some farmers, they installed some sensors that they are maintaining the pH, dissolved oxygen, and nitrate, ammonia, and all the everything is monitored by using the software. The advantages of the receptor ecosystem, we can go for more stocking density and reduction the operational cost, and you can wherever you want you can fix it. Even though you can irrespective of the species, we can grow anywhere. It's easy to maintain the feed management, and if there any adverse effect from the nature like wind or any even though if rain falls, there no need to worry. You won't change any water parameters. Even though you can monitor the health status of the fish either easily, and if there any infection, we can easily identify it, and we can solve the problem. Even though if there is no any chance to the horizontal and vertical transformation of the diseases, even though we can whatever we can reduction of the wastage of the water effluents, and we can the same water we can use for the agriculture purposes, wastage water. Another technology is biofloc culture technology. Then biofloc defined as macro aggregates of the diatoms, the microalgae, fecal matter, and exoskeleton, dead organisms, bacteria, and other invertebrates. Biofloc, they having the higher protein than the feed, according to Yoram 2005. The biofloc plays the three major roles in aquaculture. They maintain the water quality and uptaking the nitrogen compounds and produce proteins, converts undigested feeds into the protein, which controls the food conversion ratio. Even though controls the pathogens in the water. This is a biofloc method. The wastewater from the food, the fecals and urine is content of the ammonia and nitrate. That's ammonia nitrate we can remove by using the nitrosomonas and nitrobacter. That nitrobacter converted into nitrate. The nitrate will be converted to nitrate with the help of the nitrobacter and nitrospora. And you can bacteria converted to nitrate to gases, nitrogen. Then the same treated water we can make use for biofloc culture. This is a method of the aquaponics. Aquaponics is also one of the advanced technology growing of the fish in a captive condition. The aquaponics is a cooperation between plants and fish, and the originates from the two words. Aquaculture is the growing of fish, and hydroponics. Even though whatever the growing the fish, the wastewater we can discharge from the pipe and we can dump into the plant tray. Whatever the presence of the NPK, that NPK is absorbed by the plants. After filtration of the water, again we can use for fish culture. This is one of the advanced technology. Uh, Benefits of the aquaponics is the if you compare to the traditional, this method is very good, and all natural fertilizer source from the fish waste. Then efficient and sustainable and high productive. The produce free of the pesticides and the herbicides also. Then fish are free of the growth. Hormone free and antibiotic free fish we can grow. Allows the continuous production of the food. Whenever you want, we can harvest the fish and we can market it. This is one of the advantage. Produce the both protein and vegetables. You can produce the both animal protein and the vegetable protein. Even though integrated system is sustainable and for earth friendly. This is one of the model aquaponics unit. This unit located in the Madikere. Here they are growing fish in the tank and whatever fecal contaminated fecal that convert as a fertilizer is a supplement to the plants. In some tanks, here they grow in the plants. Whatever the grown the plants, they are supplied to the 3-star and 5-star hotel, and some they are exporting also. This is overall with a brief about the freshwater aquaculture. I am very grateful to thanks to Karnataka Science and Technology Academy and manage Hyderabad is given the opportunity. Sir, thank you so much. Thanks one and all.
Dr. Manjappa, thank you very much for a very informative talk on freshwater aquaculture. Some of them were inquiring about as a as an enterprise. So given a very good overview of aquaculture in India, especially Karnataka. I'm sure most of them would have got sufficient information if somebody is interested in aquaculture as a profession. Thank you very much on behalf of KST and all the participants.
Thank you, sir. Thanks. Thank you.
There are 2 questions.
Yeah, please. Manjappa avare, one ನಿಮಿಷ.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So 2 questions are there.
There are 2 questions for you, sir. Which protein is rich in nutritional values, fish or meat or vegetarian, sir?
Fish meal is very good the protein source
Okay, sir.
for preparation of fish feed.
Yes, sir.
Another is soybean. Soybean is also one of the very good source for fish feed.
Okay, sir. Thank you. How much operational cost in bioflok, sir?
It depend upon the area. We can establish the best on the area and your the requirement. The minimum around 10 by 10 also we can establish. Even the 20 by 30, 30 by 30 also we can establish. 30 by feet, 30 by. That depend upon your finance and your requirement, your space, how much you are targeting the production of the fish. These are all points to be considered.
Thank you, sir. Which protein is very expensive?
Which protein?
Which protein is very expensive, sir? So that can be taken as a
Fish meal is more expensive. That's the reason. Instead of going the fish meal, we can go for soybean soybean meal, or we can nowadays the farmer moving towards using silk pupae. That's one of the cheapest source feed for fish.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Manjappa, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
As Dr. Chandrakant Sandal, welcome to you, doctor. And next talk will be by Dr. Badri Prasad, head of the Department of Entomology, Agriculture College. Welcome to you, doctor.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Professor Badri Prasad will be speaking on apiculture, livelihood, and entrepreneurship opportunities. On behalf of KSTA and all those who are present in this meeting, welcome to you, Doctor. Before going for presentation, let me give an overview of the academic and some professional excellence of Dr. Badri Prasad. Dr. Badri Prasad did his bachelor's and master's in the bachelor degree in agricultural sciences and then master's in entomology from University of Agricultural Sciences, Raichur. He was the recipient of a gold medal, and also at postgraduate level he obtained highest marks, for which again he got the gold medal. He started his career as an agriculture officer, the Department of Agriculture. After 8 years of service, he joined University of Agricultural Sciences, Raichur, as assistant professor. He has done PG diploma in marketing management. Then subsequently did diploma in agriculture extension from Manage Hyderabad. You are an alumni of Manage, is it, Doctor? Dr. Padri Prasadara. Hello. Okay. Then Dr. Badri Prasad has published more than 30 research papers in reputed journals and written 300 articles in newspaper. Yeah, please. We can hear you. He is a fellow of the Applied Zoological Research Society, and he has been awarded Young Scientist by an NGO from Mehboobabaad. Then he obtained Best Paper Award in an international conference held at Telangana. Then he is also a recipient of an award, Sri Krishna Devaraya Award from Hyderabad, Karnataka Citizens Forum. And yeah, he is also recipient of Best Scientist Award from the Vasantraj David Foundation from Chennai. He has obtained more than 25 lakhs work project to carry out research in the field of apiculture. Presently, he is working on the conservation of honeybee in six districts of Hyderabad, Karnataka region. He has been teaching UG, PG, and PhD scholars entomology. He has guided two masters BSc students in entomology. With this brief background, I request Dr. Badri Prasad to take over and deliver his talk. And I once again welcome you, Doctor. Over to you. Over to you, Doctor. Doctor, ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಡಿಯೋ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
So initially I thank the KSTA for giving me the
Sir, is there any network issues, sir? Hello, sir. Can you hear us, sir? Dr. Padri Prasad, sir, is there any network issue, sir, at your end? We can't hear you, sir. Sorry, there is some technical glitches and some network issues. I will be connecting with. Couple of minutes.
Start with video of my video. Share. Very people English. Yeah. So can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
From the beginning, we can start, sir.
Yes, sir. I will do. So at the outset, I would like to thank KSDA for giving me this opportunity of interacting with you regarding apiculture, livelihood and entrepreneurship opportunities. There is a say, if the bees disappeared off the surface of the globe, then man would only have 4 years of life left. No more bees, no more pollination, no more plants, no more animals, and no more man. So this is the say from a well-known Albert Einstein that speak, but still it is not very documented. But the saying is right. If the bees disappear, then we don't have much life on this earth. So if you just observe the evolution or the importance of these bees on earth, so we are well known that earth originated about 4,500 million years ago, and the life started on this earth or the globe 3,750 million years ago, and insect came into existence about 400 million years ago, and we have seen first flowering plants about 135 million years ago. And we identified wind pollination and recorded it's about 135 million year ago. And an insect on plant, these flowering plants has been recorded about 125 million years ago. And we noticed bees specifically about 100 years ago. So like from there onwards, we are been seeing the different activities of bees on this globe. So nevertheless to say, so we don't have much life if the bees extinct from the surface of the earth. But still we are ignorant of the service of the bees because they don't provide any invoice or the cash bill. See, this is because of that we are so much ignorant of these species and we have no gratitude towards their service. If you just observe, there are about 352,000 species of flowering plants in this world, and 87.5% are entirely depends on bees for seed setting. So out of 87 food plants which are globally recognized, out of 115 plants, they depends on bees for pollination, either the bees or any other pollinators. So totally 35% of the global food production is entirely dependent on these pollinators. So annual economic value of this pollination service worldwide is about $153 billion pounds. And if you just specifically, if you look into the bee species, there are about 20,500 species of the bees on this world. And we have recorded about 723 species of bees in India alone. And they are representing 7 families from out of 31 orders. So specifically, the honey-yielding bees on this earth have about 9 species. Out of 723 noted species of bees, or if you say 20,507 bees across the globe, only 9 species of bees are honey-yielding. Rest are all they contribute for pollination service. So if you just look into it's for the general information, if you look at the species of bees which are very dominant and very actively involved in pollination services, Apis dorsata, that is the wild bee or rock bee we call, Apis laboriosa, that is the mountain bees, Apis florea, little bees, Apis cerana, it is Indian bee, and Apis mellifera, it is European bee, and finally the stingless bees. So these are the dominant species of bees which are either involved in pollination or always, and also they are honey yielding. So let's look into them one by one. So the rock bees we have already seen. So they construct their comb at a very high places and very ferocious in nature, and they cannot be domesticated. So once the colony is harvested, we get around 35 to 40 kgs of honey in a single harvest. And you could see in the right picture, on a single tree, about 200 to 250 up to 300 colonies can be identified on each tree. But because of their highly ferocious nature, it cannot be domesticated. The second species is Apis florea. We call it as a dwarf bees or little bees, very widely distributed across the country and very high or very efficient pollinators of the farmer, and they yield around 1 to 1.2 kgs of honey in a single harvest. Very tasteful honey. And the third one is very domesticated bee species. That is the very popular species of bees, that is Apis cerana. We call it as Indian honeybee, well acclimatized to our surface, our country, or our climate. And easily they give around 10 to 12 kgs of honey in a year. And there is a record up to 25 kgs in a single harvest. And these species of bees can be easily domesticated, and you can see in Apis florea and Apis dorsata, they construct only one single comb, and these bee species, they construct 7 to 8 combs at a stretch. So another one important species of bees which we have imported from European countries, that is the Apis mellifera species. So we have a dream of harvesting high quantity of honey, and they should be very efficient. At the same time, they are easily domesticated, and they should not be ferocious like Apis dorsata. So we have identified this species of bees, and we have imported these during 1960, and they are very efficiently pollinating our crops in northern India, and they are yielding around 25 to 30 kgs of honey, and they are very mild without any ferocious nature. So nowadays it has become our own breed. The final and the last one is Tetragonella iridipennis. We call them as stingless bees. So very popular species of bees, and they give very high quality of honey which is having high medicinal properties. So if you compare the different types of honey, you get, so the rock bees, the honey of rock bee, they yield around 200 to 300 rupees. They are available in market. Whereas the Serrana honey or the mellifera honey, they are available at a price of 500 to 700 rupees a kg. And these stingless bees, the honey of is eggs. So she has the capacity to lay around 1,500 to 2,000, or at the sometimes she can lay up to 4,000 eggs a day. And in the mid you can see the drones, that is drones are the male bees. The only job of the male is to mate with queen once in a lifetime. That's the only job they perform. But the rest are all workers in a colony. So there will be more than 10,000 workers in a colony of Apis cerana. At the same time, in a colony of Apis dorsata, you can find more than 100,000 bees at a time. So all the other functions of the colony, the workers will take care, like foraging or bringing the food, cleaning, construction of the nest, taking care of the queen, other young ones, thermoregulation of the colony, so on and so forth will be done by these workers. So if you just look into the life cycle of the bees, the queen will the lifespan of the queen is about 3 to 5 years, whereas the drone is around 60 days, and the worker will be for about 3 months. The lifespan of the worker will be around 3 months. So in the bottom pictures, you can observe the first one is the egg of the bee. So in each cell, you can find only one egg. So elongated egg you can see. In the middle picture, you can see the larva, and the third picture, that is the pupa of the bees. So if you just observe the queen, the duration and the lifespan, the queen will be much higher, 3 to 5 years. Whereas the worker, even though she is a female, it is a incomplete developed female, and the lifespan is only about 3 months. So whereas the queen is 3 years. So if you just come into the concept of beekeeping, what is beekeeping means? It is nothing but the maintenance of the honeybee colonies, commonly in hives, in order to collect their honey and other product. So there are several byproducts also come, so which are giving highly economic returns. So the advantages are several advantages. It is a family activity, so you need not have much labors for this. So you do not require much labor, electricity and other infrastructure. So beekeeping does not compete with other resources, unlike in agriculture. So it is a very flexible activity with sex. Either the female or the male of the family can take care of this, and they can perform this beekeeping activity at any age. So it needs very less investment, as well as does not require any constant care. Every day you need not look into them and take care of them. So it is also for the happiness, self-reliance, self-preservation, and learn to coordination of thoughts. Finally, it develops the philosophy of self-sufficiency. This is the ultimate goal of the human life, to achieve the self-sufficiency with all the happiness. So these are all the objectives which can be fulfilled by maintaining the bee colonies in our households or in our fields. So if you just look into the commercialization of the beekeeping, so there are a number of byproducts which we can derive. So the first one is, so if you observe, the first one, the benefit directly from the beekeeping is pollination service. So there is no other alternative for bees for giving pollination service, that is exclusive. So apart from pollination service, we also get the beehive products, several hive products like honey, wax, propolis, pollen, royal jelly and vellum. So if you just look into the pollination service, I have already explained. The honey is the first sweetener in the world. So it has got antimicrobial properties, as well as the it is a fermented products. So the price of the honey per liter, it goes with 200 rupees to 3,000 to 500,000 based on the different species of honey. So that is one source of income for a farmer with the lowest investment. So with it gives several nutrients for the person who is taking. So it is nothing but the substance derived out of the nectar of the flowers. The second product, so if you just compare the honey, which is equivalent to 1 kg of honey is equivalent to 5 liters of milk or 50 eggs or 1.5 kg of meat, the energy derived out of 1 kg honey. So the second important byproduct is bee wax. So yellowish solid with an aroma resembling that of the honey. It is a product which is useful for cosmetic industries, pharmaceutical preparations, candle preparations, polish, crayons, ink, carbon, paper, electrical insulations, lubricants. So several byproduct, this product can be used in the manufacturing of several other industrial products. So the cost of the each kg of bee wax will be derived on an average is 800 to 1,500 rupees market value we can get. So different kind of artistic candles you can observe. The third important is bee venom. So it is a vasodilator and stimulant property it is having. So it is used for the treatment of rheumatoid arthritis and as well as bee therapy. So it is highly valued product that we are going to derive from this venom. So in the market we can get around 10 to 12,000 rupees per gram of bee venom. So it is a highly valued product and having many industrial and health benefits. The fourth byproduct is royal jelly. It is the mixture of clear watery secretion of hypopharyngeal glands and mandibular secretions. So it is derived out of 6 to 13 days old nurse bees will yield this royal jelly. So it is used as a valuable ingredient in dietary supplements, food products, and also as a medicine. So in the first slide, you have observed in the life cycle of the bees, the queen survives for the lifespan of the queen is 3 years, whereas the worker bee is around 3 months. So if we observe why the discrimination is, so the queen will every day the queen feeds on royal jelly and other nutritive products. So the one which feeds every day on the royal jelly will survive long and only for 2 to 3 days of the initial birth stage. They will become worker bees. So people observed that and converted them into a capsule. Those who wish to survive for a long, they can take royal jelly capsules and several such products are there in the market. You can order online also. And because it is having high vitamin E content, so it has been used in the cosmetics. So it gives a good glow to the skin and it is also having anti-aging properties. So such ointments or the creams are also available in the market. That's why it is also a highly priced product. And in the current international market, it is average 55 to 65,000 a liter of royal jelly is under market. The next valuable product is bee pollen. So it is a valuable ingredient in pediatric foods, dietary supplements, and in several medicines. So in the mid of the picture, you can see the pollen trap. So during the pollen season, whenever the high volume of pollen is, when the bees are bringing, you can collect them using this pollen chamber. And if you just dry it under shade, and you can use it as a feed supplement. So everyday consumption of these is helpful for the malnourished children, pregnant women, and the one who are in athletics. So it gives a high protein supplement. So each kg of pollen is costing around 5 to 6. Product is propolis, a combination of sap and resin excluded from the bark or leaves. So very highly product and an ingredient, valuable ingredient in cosmetic preparations, antiseptic creams and lotions. So each kg of propolis is costing around 7 to 8,000 rupees a kg. So the importance of this is it is used in the construction of the nest and to adhere the nest to the top branches or on the walls. So it gives such a firm, even with a tsunami, the comb will not fall down. So such a high strength this will be having, and it is also having anti or water resistance properties. So revenue from the beekeeping is you can have the bees. So there are several n number of farmers who cannot own their own beehives or they cannot have them also. So such highly valuable crops, they need pollination, artificial pollination. For them, you can rent the colonies. If you have many number more colonies, give them for rent and you can earn the revenue. So there will be an agreement between the beekeeper and the farmer for a season. So with that for each season they can give revenue. So in northern India for mustard, they earn around 500 to 600 rupees season. In Koppal and Raichur district, the pollination of papaya as well as pomegranate, and they are earning around 2 to 3,000 rupees per season per colony. So apiculture is such a wonderful industry for livelihood activities. This term swarming, whenever
Dr. Badri Prasad, hello. Hello. Participants, please bear with us. There is connectivity issue. Joining in a minute or two. Dr. Badri Prasad. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋಯ್ತು.
ಈಗ ಬಂದಿರ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಸರ್?
ಈಗ ಬಂದು ಇವಾಗ
So,
ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ.
okay. So if you just transfer these colonies from northern part to the so they can fetch around 2,000 rupees. So without any investment, just the other parts are easily available in the villages, or even the used parts, other parts they can use, and they can collect bee swarms, they can sell. So this is one technique. And so likewise, if in the picture you are observing the bee colony has come and settled inside. So after settlement of 1 to 2 them.
ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Buildings are on the treetops likewise. So once in a year he places around 300 to 400 bottle guards like this. He will harvest nearly about 220 to 250 bee colonies and he sells. So once the colony, if he sells at 2,000 rupees for about, if he sell around 200 colonies, he earn a profit of 4 lakh rupees within a span of 2 to 3 months. So the bottle guard is just sow seeds on an in and around his house, and they creep them on his house, and once the matured bottle guard he obtains, he removes them, he cut opens them, and he places them in the abandoned places, and he collects the colonies. So likewise the bee comes and attracts them. So likewise, and you can also use them, the bottle guards, as an artistic value. Inside the house also you can hang them, and you can keep the bee colonies as such. So the beekeeping is such an activity, you can even in the households you can maintain them. So it is another income generating activity, like selling the queens of Apis mellifera. So whatever the frame which I am holding is 256 queens at a time, you can develop and sell. So during division, the farmers will be knowing it takes around 20 days to develop another new queen. So in order to save the 20 days, farmers will come and buy the efficient queen from the beekeepers. So each queen costs around 250 to 300 rupees. So at a time, if you can develop 32 or 64 or 256. Likewise, in the multiples of 32, you can develop the queens and you can sell. It is possible with Apis mellifera, and still the Apis cerana queen development is underway. But you can earn a huge profit by rearing queens of Apis mellifera. So the person in the middle is Mr. Jaswinder Singh of Ludhiana, who is having a factory A to Z honeys. So here it is an activity those who are having high investment. So earlier I have told without money you can earn thousands, but here is an activity which yields in crores. So this person, he has invested around 5 crores, and he has the factory for developing all the beekeeping equipments, including the bee colonies, and he also sells and stores the honey. So this is one shop view. So he is having around 28 different types of honey, like tulsi honey, basil honey, cinnamon honey, jamun honey. Likewise, he has got around 25 different types of honey. Along with that, he also sells the beekeeping equipments like bee veil, bee box, so on and so forth. So he is having a to Z honey, and his initial investment was around 5 crores, and his annual turnover now is around 30 crores. So beekeeping is such an activity, those who are having money or without money, both can have and both can involve in apiculture activities. So these are Apis mellifera box, which are little bigger than our boxes. So these are the Apis mellifera frames. So another important income generating activity for livelihood sustainability is apitherapy. So we have two types of therapy. One is aromatherapy, another one is sting therapy. So in aromatherapy, the flavor, the aroma which generates inside the bee colony will clears the lung tracts. So there is a say. So and in all the advanced countries, they are practicing this aromatherapy. Just like oxygen parlors in other countries, they have the apitherapy centers where in which you can put a mask to your nose and you can inhale the aroma that is generated in the bee colonies. So this will clear the lung tracts and relieves the stress and pains. So this is very good activity which is generating, and in our country also there is an encouragement for starting these aromatherapy centers under Atmanirbhar Bharat scheme. There is a 500 crores they have separately kept for this project. Those whoever wishes to start these apitherapy centers, they can write a project to the Deputy Director of Horticulture and they can get sanctioned. So this is aromatherapy. So another one is sting therapy. As I already told, there is no cure for rheumatoid arthritis. So only the bee sting, continuously taking the bee sting and the bee venom is the only cure for relieving of the pains from rheumatoid arthritis. So here you can see in the pictures, those who are having the rheumatoid arthritis are at those points wherever it is paining. So to such painful points, they keep the stings. So because of the content, melatonin content of the venom, the arthritis will get cured. So these such centers are also working in our state. So there are few farmers in Western Ghats, that is near Sirsi, as well as in Puttur. They are practicing this apitherapy, and the government is encouraging for such activities those who are already taken skill training from the centers. So this is in brief what I wanted to convey to the as a part of this session. So those who are having any doubts with respect to this, you are free to ask me. So what are all the different opportunities, avenues? Before I closing, I just want to say, so apiculture is such an activity, you don't require your own field. So the bees have their own capacity to travel around 3 to 4 kilometers if they are Apis mellifera, and around 1 to 1.5 2 kilometers if they are Apis cerana. So they move around and collect the food and they can come back to the nest and give you honey. That is one thing. And the second thing is it is very easy and everyday care is not necessary. Once in 10 days or 15 days, you just look into it, and a minimum if you spend around 10 minutes is sufficient per colony and they yield honey. And another thing, there is 70%, 75% subsidy under horticulture department, and each farmer will get around subsidy for 10 colonies. The each colony costs around 4,500 rupees and the subsidy amount will be 3,375 rupees per colony. The farmer investment is only 1,300 rupees and each farmer will give 10 colonies at subsidized rate. And if you are not a farmer, if you are a city dwelling people, and if you are having the interest in rearing bees or keeping the bees, that there is also a scheme in the Department of Horticulture which will give 4 colonies per interested people and they also get 75% subsidy. So if you have the farm or if you do not have the farm, you can keep, and you can keep the bee colonies in your kitchen garden or on the terrace or on the plinth of the windows, or even you can keep inside your room if it is ventilated, well ventilated. Only entry and exit point should be there, that's it. So they will move out and they should come back. So if you give little entry exit hole, that is sufficient for bees to move around. And even thousands of bees attack the neighbor's field. They will not ask you why your bees have reached my land. So if you rear one cattle or if you have one sheep, If they jump across your bund, the neighbor will come for quarrel. But thousands of bees, if easily they will enter inside and they collect the honey or nectar or pollen, nobody will ask. So that is the advantage of this beekeeping. And without a single rupee investment, you can start apiculture, or with a huge investment, you can start investment. So this gives all the pleasure and you can enjoy with bees. So if any questions to be asked, you are most welcome.
Sir, thank you very much for a very insightful and informative talk on apiculture. Sure, many of the participants would have got a lot of take-home message from your talk. Honey beekeeping would be a hobby, their own household area. That's what is your message. Doctor, I have one question.
Yes, sir.
Sting,
Please, sir.
swarms of honeybee might attack a human
Yeah.
being. If it is
Yes, sir.
cultivated in our own home, how to protect ourselves?
Yeah. Sir, I already told it is only the Apis dorsata which is very ferocious or highly ferocious. Only the stings of Apis dorsata or the rock bees can cause the life threaten. Otherwise, all the other species of bees, they are not life threaten. Even if you domesticate, you may get 2 or 3 or 5 or up to 20 stings. It is you need not worry. Only some rashes will come and initially you may get some swellings, but once you are practiced to it, so then you need not worry. Once after practicing for 3 to 4 months, even you won't get the swelling also. Only initial stage of stinging you will get some light swelling, the body will be warm and some rashes will come, little itching will be there. So as the days goes on, you won't get that also.
You become
So likewise you need not worry, sir.
we become immune to stings, you mean?
Yeah, you will become immune to sting, and getting that sting or the getting the venom inside your body will increase your immunity. It will boost your immunity.
Thank you, doctor. So, Umesh, any questions?
Thank you, sir.
Any training centers nearest to Odisha, sir? Some
Sir, in each in each district there will be a Krishi Vignani Kendra. Each district will be having one KVK. So the person who are interested, the farmer can reach the Krishi Vignan Kendra nearby and they can approach for training. And in each horticulture department, there is a provision to give training of around 30 people in a batch. So in each district, each taluk, they will be having horticulture department. They can approach senior assistant director of horticulture and get trained. And the third one is there is a provision under Atma scheme of Department of Agriculture. So there also there will be calling for apiculture training and they get training under Atma scheme. And there is a Department of Apiculture in GKVK so and KVIC in collaboration with Karnataka Village and Kaji Industries. They will be organizing the training and they will be giving paper ads. So by looking into it, they can participate in such trainings. So those who are wishing long-term, long season training, so there will be a 3 months training in Bhagamandala, Kodagu district. So there is a apiculture training center in Bhagamandala. So if you are interested, you can write to the director of the research institute, that training institute, and whenever they organize 3 months training, so they will send an intimation and they will select you based on the priorities they are having.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Umesh or any other is a question?
No, sir.
Doctor, thank you very
Thanks,
much
sir.
once again for your
Thank you.
informative talk. Whenever we think of apiculture, we think of Dr. Padri Prasad for your wonderful presentation. Thank you from KSTA and all the participants. Grateful to you for your time, Doctor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I also thank the whole KSTA and the audience present who are here. Thank you very much. And you can feel free to contact me at any point of time for any suggestions or requirement regarding apiculture. My mobile number is there. I am available round the clock, except if I am in the class, I may not receive. If you just put a message in my WhatsApp, I will respond to you back. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All the participants, please note down the mobile number of Dr. Badri Prasad. If you have any queries or if you require any help in establishing a honeybee project, please contact Dr. Badri, sir. He will be very happy to help you. Thank you very much. And I thank all the participants for being with us since morning. Tomorrow we'll be having 5 talks. First talk will be on ornamental fish culture at 10 by Dr. Harsha, followed by that intellectual property rights by Shri Sharat Kumar Pattar, Head Patent Cell, All India Institute of Speech and Hearing. Subsequently, a talk by Mr. Shrikant Priyadarshan Patra, Business Manager, ICR Nivedi. Those who would like to start their own new business, please attend this session, very important. He will help you and he will guide you in preparation of project proposal. He will be delivering a talk on this. And later in our post-lunch session, we have 2 talks. Initiatives for strengthening agriculture extension by Dr. Shahji Pahan, the Anda, the Deputy Director in charge and Head of Center for Extension, NH Hyderabad. Then I will be speaking on Blue Revolution, aspects and challenges. That will be the last talk. With this, I wish you all happy evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Mugito, Dr. Umesh, thank you.
Yes, sir.